Are we live? Of course we are. Hello, my beautiful people. We are back on our connection circle on Sundays. Every 2 Sundays we are here. We're so excited to be here. And today is even more special because I have my two amazing co-hosts and my two amazing friends that are not just amazing speakers and wellness provider, but they are very dear to my heart. And I'm super excited to introduce each one of them. So hello, everyone. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Lorna, my beautiful co-host. Hello, everyone. If you're watching this live or replay, please let us know where you're tuning from. Say hello to us. Don't be shy. And we are so excited to dive deep into this, to shine some beautiful lights on these beautiful ladies. So we're going to go around the table as we always do in our connection circle. And we're going to do the first round, a quick your name, a quick title, and what are you tuning from. So we're going to start all the way from the other side of the world. Gina.
Thank you. I'm Gina. I'm a health stylist and I live in Amsterdam. Is that enough?
Yes. Well, and I just FYI, she's not gonna leave for too long in Amsterdam. She's gonna be a world traveler soon. We're so excited for you, Gina. Okay, let's go to Liz.
Hello, everybody. I'm Liz, and I am tuning in from Calgary, Canada.
Woohoo! And let's go to my beautiful co-host, Lorna.
I'm Lorna, and I'm here in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. And I'm a sex and spirit alchemist of the feminine-led life.
And Michelle.
Hey guys, it's Michelle Bouchard. I'm called a natural entrepreneur. I am a digital doula, mission technician. I help people build their natural online offers and the tech that supports them. And I am on the west coast of Canada on Vancouver Island.
Amazing. And yours truly, I'm Adriana Di Marvel. I'm tuning from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I'm a confidence and communication coach. Okay, now we know who is here and where we are in this world, and let's move on. I'm going to pass it on to Lorna to take the round two. Lorna?
All right, thank you. And yes, we're so thrilled to have both Gina and Liz here with us today. It's just so exciting. So the way that we do our circle is, and it was mentioned before, we weave things together. We think about a connection circle and knowing that this is a networking call, but even more recognizing that networking comes because of connections and how to weave that together. So it's not just, okay, here's my business card, or here's what I do, here's my sign on the door. So we want to know who you are and what you bring forward. And one of the ways that we'd like to weave things together is that as you are sharing, and I'll share with you again, they're in the chat, and I'll share with you again the 3 different points we're inviting you to share on. One of the ways that we're going to weave that together is the first person's going to share, and then the second person, as you begin your time of sharing, you're going to pick out something that you heard shared from the first person, something that resonates, something you connect with, and connect with that person in that way, what they've shared, and then use the duration of your time to share about your thing. And we weave it all the way together. And then after the last person has shared, then the first person will take something that they've heard, something that resonates, and speak to that. So that's one of the ways we love to weave our circle together. All right. So again, in the chat, you can refer it to, we'd love to hear about you, the gifts that you bring to the world. That means about who you are, some of your superpowers, the gifts that you are, what do you bring to the world? And the second one is, who do you serve and how? And is that one-on-ones and group retreats, your Facebook groups, whatever it is that you do to serve people. And your third one is the why. Why do you do what you do? Those questions can be answered in whatever order you feel like you would like to share. All right. So I'm feeling into it. And Michelle, I'm going to invite you to please first share with us today. All right.
Okay, yeah, I was just thinking, oh, what order order, what am I going to say today? And that one of the things we love to do is invite people back to connection circles. So make sure that you guys come back as we evolve. We have different things to say, and so we want to hear it again. Where am I today? What are my gifts? Who and how do I serve? And why do I do it? I think I'm going to start with the why today. So I am a mom of a guy who is very complex. He's on the autism spectrum. He's nonverbal and self-injurious. And our family's journey has had, profound. Uh, uh, I consider him my teacher. Profound personal growth, profound family journey impacts, profound shifts, and that that has shaped my work. It has shaped my life. It has shaped my finances. It has shaped my business, and I've needed to create income. Having such high needs, I couldn't do a regular full-time job. I needed to come home and have flexible income. I needed to suss out, who I actually was and sort out my identity from all of the things that are encompassing in terms of autism and supporting that in a family member. I've needed to, learn all sorts of things. So, what I've done and in supporting him, we had a portion of our journey where I used to run a brick and mortar business, supporting respite and homeschool for him and his care. And one of the things that happened when COVID shut down and we all pivoted to digital was that I learned how to support my autism parent community online. But then I started realizing, oh, I need for my own self and my own life, as well as to continue to serve people in my community, a digital mechanism. So I retooled and trained, and I learned all the things and went through online offer crafting and coaching because I saw that as a means to an end, as a giant bake sale to be able to raise money to support and to subsidize care for families like mine. Because you can't just go out and hire any old babysitter. You need to have a very high level of training and that sort of thing to deal with folks like my son. And the parents that I was serving with the brick and mortar couldn't really afford it, and yet we were all burning out. I hit my own burnout wall and had to redefine my own self and my own life. And I thought, when we shut down the business, I thought, no, this is an essential service. It's not something that we can just not do. And government insurance and, providers are not, there isn't that kind of service that's needed. So I kind of buckled down and I thought, okay, I am going to take these skills and develop a way to subsidize care by developing digital marketing and supporting businesses with digital marketing, but turning that into a social purpose enterprise to generate revenue for to support respite and homeschool for families like mine. So that has been sort of my why is to my biggest goal, and I think my soul's purpose on this planet is to actually is twofold. One is to ease caregiver burnout, which is this body of work. And then the other is ecological restoration, because I'm actually a biologist by formal training, but we don't need to talk about that. So here, as I formed, but that's how I also brought in the natural entrepreneur piece, because I am deeply connected to nature. I'm deeply interested in biology. I deeply interested in ecosystems and how they function, and healthy ecosystems and restoring healthy ecosystems. And I view business as an ecosystem. And when I think about, our social systems and how they're supporting our parents, and I think about our societal impact and our consumer culture and the way business has extracted wealth, I feel like there are things that we can learn from nature on both fronts and how systems should work, and that we need to treat our our own personal online offer ecosystem in the same way that a good, healthy, functioning natural ecosystem works. You need the soil, you need the plants, you need the bugs, you need the animals, you need the water, you need the air, and everything needs to function together. In your business ecosystem, you need your strong why, you need your clear offer, you need your marketing, your sales, and your delivery mechanisms and the tech to support it. So that's how I kind of view, our own natural ecosystems and how we connect with our own selves and design it around our own lives and our own personalities and our own gifts and our own purposes, I just really enjoy working with people to go through their offer stack, their client journey, their raison d'etre, and helping them design their free, low, mid, high ticket offers, as well as what the tech builds are to deal with all of that. And then, you know, aligning their why and their marketing and their sales and their delivery to automate, because I'm a busy mom, don't know about you guys, and I need, like, nobody has time for that beep, right? Like we need tech and automations to be able to do the things that are repetitive, that we forget, that we hate, and really put that to use for us. So I really enjoy, I've just built a series of things, and one of the pieces that I'll be marketing coming up is Vancouver Island Social Media has developed an event support system. So we do all of your pre-event promotions and lead generation to get them into your event. We do the in-event tech support, and then we do the post-event lead follow-up and sales, so that you can focus on what you deliver. And then the revenues in that is all part of the parent dashboard system that supports parents with their respite and homeschool needs. So that's sort of like, I think my gifts, let's see, my gifts are being able to listen and focus in and really hear someone, because I feel like they matter. And just like my son has taught me, even when we don't know we have gifts inside of us, they're there. And just because you can't articulate them doesn't mean that they're not there. And so I love to help people pull that out, structure them, and build the tech to support them. And that's me.
Mm. Beautiful. Thank you so much. And somehow Liz went off camera, so we're just gonna. Oh, it looks like she's right out, so bounced off. So we'll wait for her to come back in, or we'll let her come in when she comes back in. All right. Interestingly, I'm going to go with what feels. Here's the next person, and I tune in how it's weaving, and it feels like I'm to go next. So I'm going to share next. Get the timer on here. And where to start? It's actually interesting. I'm not sure which question this will answer, but yesterday something really came back to mind for me. I remember, and I grew up in a beautiful family, a very religious, conservative religious home and a community, very beautiful, loving community. And I remember at one point, my husband at the time and our two young children went to a place we were going to go to this Bible college, where my husband was going to be going into training, perhaps be a pastor. And I remember after living there for the 2 years, when I came out, I was so afraid of the big bad world that I could not leave my home for a year. And it just really, it really was very fundamental, I think, in what was going to come in the years to come unfold, where when my girls were old enough and they went to school, I went, and I was a regular. Every week I was in there as a parent volunteer. I loved doing that. And eventually the teacher started saying, "You should be a teacher. You should be a teacher." And I said, "No, no, no, not me." And eventually I thought, I wonder if I could be. 2 months later, I was enrolled in and started my journey to become a teacher in the school system. After teaching 5 years, I had just ready to, I was starting the 6th year, and my body got laryngitis, which as a teacher isn't really a great thing, and got better from that. Came back within 3 weeks, another bout of laryngitis. My energy started going down. And by the time Christmas came, I'd had 4 bouts of laryngitis, and my energy was down to the point where it was really a struggle to move even. And I forced myself to do that. With my specialist, my doctor, I said, I need to stay off and figure out what's going on. So that became actually what was my, what I see now as the gift of my health crisis, because it took me into my spiritual journey that started to awaken, and to really find out that not only is there no big bad world out there, but that there's this connection, that part that I had been taught I was separate from, I was supposed to be on this journey to connect to, that was there and connected within me all along. And so that was my spiritual journey started to unfold. And then my sexual journey, it's time to start to address this disconnection that I had felt. Married at age 18. And by the time that I was married all of these years, very, very disconnected. And it wasn't until the age of 42 that I had, and through the, I had hired a person who had a doctorate in human sexuality. And it was at the age of 42 that I had my first orgasm. And so this journey that started to unfold of now my sexual awakening that happened 5 years later, when I kind of, wait a minute, I was able to move through the shame and the disgust and the self-loathing. And it even took me to this level of existential shame, the shame that I even existed. When I could touch down into that core, it was like everything awakened, and it was, this is pure and good and right. It's not dirty and shameful like I've been taught. And so my journey then continued. And what happened was, in there, poetry started to flow, hundreds and hundreds of poems. Just, I get this tingly feeling and kind of, okay, bring out my BlackBerry. And I know that dates me, but just start type. And then I would wait and see what came through. And these hundreds of poems, some of them, like I say, some of them were hot and steamy. Some of them were, very tender. The majority of them spoke to the oneness of life, that which we have thought we were so separate from, whether it's our spirituality and our sexuality, our male, female, feminine, masculine. It started to bring into the oneness of life. And so that is what my journey has been, is not only personally, but what I bring forward in, whether it's one-on-one sessions, whether it's retreats, whether it's trainings and group assignments, poetry pulls that I call. It's really, how do we come back into this journey of bringing forth the remembrance of our oneness, that those places where we have thought, don't go there, it's wrong, bad, shameful, dirty, dangerous. It's kind of like, there's the gold. Let's turn and face in. And it's not out there, it's all within here. And when we can connect to our oneness here, we realize that there is no separation. And so, and I'm not sure if that's all of my whys, but I think that really speaks to that journey of what I bring forward, safe places. People have said, I've never been able to share these things. You help me to make connections. And so I think that that one of my superpowers or my gifts are creating safe places, letting people be heard, and to be able to provide perspectives. And now, having gone from a mother at a young age, we were talking about with my grandkids, I was, I had my first child at the age of 18 and 17, or at the age of 19, and 17 months later, I had my second child. And so from going from this place of a mother, which I love, and still do, and now being a grandma, but to be able to really embrace this energy that I'm called to, is this, it's almost this cosmic mother energy of just really be able to a wholeness of who we are. So, and I think that there's a part of that that says, who am I to? And I remember when I was taking my sexological body work, I said, I want to bring this professional training to Canada. And he said, great, you get to be the teacher. Would you please be a teacher? And I said, who am I to? And he said, who are you not to? And so I think that that's the part where we really step into those places where, who am I to? How can I go here? Good, we're on the right track. To know that what we are bringing forward comes from that deep place of that which has been hidden, that which has been shamed, is kind of say, there's the gold, there's the truth, there's our wholeness. And so a part of that for me is in my work as a Dom, being able to support people in letting the feminine rise and the masculine. And it's not about male and female, it's about energy and form coming into our wholeness. So that's one of the ways that I get to support people. And it's really about bringing people into this place, and not a knowing, but an experience, a direct experience of a wholeness of who we are and the joy of being in this human experience. And I don't know if in that place, if I connected to Michelle with what you were saying was about, because you as the first speaker, I didn't connect that thread. And so I'm going to do that right now, because it seems to wrap around all of that, is that place where those pieces and people and situations in our place that really allow us to bring out our gifts. And sometimes it's not in the initial place. It's not in that first time. It's sometimes that perspective, that distance of what seems like time in our own journey, but where we realize what's there and what's helping to bring our gifts out, what we're here to express. So thank you, Michelle. All right. And now it feels like, as I tap in and feel, it feels like Gina, if you could go next and pick up a thread of something that I've shared, and then weave that into your first expressions, and then speak to your own gifts, your who that you serve, and how, and your why, please.
Thank you, Lorna. There was a beautiful thread in there that I could experience, and it was about the shame and the non-existence, because that's where my story starts. As a premature baby, born with 29 weeks, with my brother as the baby at home, because he was just also 3 months old, maybe a little bit less, I don't know exactly, but so I disturbed the family peace. I was lying in the incubator. I was not expected. I was not planned. So I had to stay in this incubator for 2.5 months. And when I came home, my mom said to me when I was 6, I wouldn't have cared less if you were not born alive. But she did not meant to say that to hurt me, but that was the way she expressed herself. So that belief was planted in my head. And probably also already when she was pregnant, because she found out that she was pregnant quite soon. But the doctor said it is impossible. So they gave her medicine. And after she took the medicine, she was 5.5 months pregnant. And then she got contraction and was committed to the hospital. So she had absolutely no time to bond with me or to adapt or to accept whatever. So her baby bubble was burst at that point. So when I was growing up, knowing what she had said, but probably also my subconscious already knew that I was not planned. I had not the right to be there. I disrupted the family. Give it a word. That was what I experienced as a little child when I was, before my parents got divorced. I was very spicy and very fearless, and I was like wanting to be just as good as my brother. So we grew up as a twin, and my mom always said you should have been a boy, and you have been switched in the incubator, and all of these remarks I got to hear. So I needed to prove myself so badly to her, but I was never good enough. So then she left when I was 8, and then I got the blame for that as well. So for me, the right to not to be there became so big that it was for me my superpower to become invisible. And that was something that I had to struggle with for many, many years. And so the opposite side of that is that I got a very good sense of where I was, who people are, what people do. So I was, I don't know the exact word, very analytically. I could fly my helicopter over every situation. So for me, that became my superpower. So within an instant, I feel, I sense, I smell every situation that I'm in. And that is something that I can use very good right now in my work, of course, and also in my relationships, which is not always a safe feeling, because sometimes your head overrules it. So and that brings you then in an opposite situation than you want. But that's a little bit of my story and my non-existence, my feeling of being not wanted or not have the right to exist, that I had to overcome, and that made me step into in the online space to get over my camera shyness, to speak in public, to share this story here with all of you. I have sweaty armpits at the moment, but I'm here. But that's something that I had to overcome, because even though I'm over 50, I'm turning 55 this year. This story was such an ingrained part of me, and being willing to admit that it still is something that I struggle with, not every day, but it's there. Challenged by is the better word. But it also, that this fearless girl in me is also there, who always says, fear is here to overcome. So that's the other side of this story. So, and I choose to live that side of my story. And so my why, my bigger why is actually that's something I realized when my mom died, that I saw her dying at the age of 69. She has been sick for the last 12 years of her life. We had such a disrupted relationship. We couldn't connect. We was always fighting. We were years apart. And then we had a little bit of a connection. It was always messy, always struggling. And when I saw her in her last few weeks, and even when we connected, we were really good in that period. It was like she threw away her life. She really smashed her own soul. She disrupted the whole family, not just our family, my brother, me, and my dad, but everybody around it as well. But my mom was also traumatized. She was really a broken child. She never got the chance to heal. And for me, that was actually the biggest eye opener for me, that my work was meant to be a chain breaker, breaking the cycle of trauma in the family. My mom was molested by my granddad, who was Jewish, and he was molested while he was a refugee in the World War II. So it's a generational trauma, and I am here to break that. So I own that part of my family, and the rest I let go. So I don't know if I shared everything right now, all the points that I needed to share, but I think
I'd like to hear more about how you work with people.
That's the one.
Like what does that look like? What kind of offers do you have?
Yeah, I call myself a health stylist because of all the things that I went through myself. I was always chronically unexplained sick. I had anorexia when I was young. I had gut health issues, all kinds of different things. And that was not a reason to be mentioned by the doctors. I had to learn to live with it. And when I was 31, I almost died of a viral infection in my lungs. And that's when I found out that it was the trauma. I had PTSD and an ACE score of 8. So that was for me the reason to start this journey. And so I work with people who have a traumatized health. That's why I call it like that. And I guide them to holistic bliss. So all these modalities that I studied are bringing me back to my own journey. And I smell the people that I work with have a trauma. And of course, we all have a trauma somewhere, somehow. But then connecting the dots and looking at the bigger picture, that's what I do. Was that clear enough?
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And you do that, just to kind of cap off, you do that so one-to-one and people online, or what does it look like?
I'm having my journey online and working on everything still. But last week I decided to stop my practice in one-on-one in person. Yeah, I shut the door starting 1st of August. So people can connect with me. I'm working online. I have my Facebook group, The Bigger Picture, and that's where I'm building right now. So let's go.
Woohoo!
And
So excited to hear.
that's right. And you are going, indeed. You are, a force of life. Just truly beautiful. So thank you so much, Gina, for sharing, and for that vulnerable share, and for being here. And as you said, that fear of, of public speaking and sharing. So thank you for the joy and the privilege of having you here and sharing here with us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right, from there, Liz, I'm going to invite you, please, to pick a thread, something that Gina has shared that you can relate to, and to then weave that in and then share with yours, please.
Wow. I'm just wow. There are so many threads I could pick up from, to be honest. But I'm feeling here the one that really resonated the most from what Gina shared. Is when she said, fear is here to overcome. And I was like, boom, like mic drop, right? Like, exactly. And yeah, right. Like, and when she says we all have our own, our own baggage, our own traumas that we are bringing from generations, and how we need to like break those things down for ourselves and for our future generations. And I actually even feel for our past generations too, for our ancestors. But anyway, so how do I treat this fear is here to overcome with what I do? Well, you know, I was one of those women. Also, I'm coming from an engineering background. I'm originally from Venezuela, emigrated to this beautiful country, Canada, almost 20 years ago. And I wanted to rebuild my career, my engineering career, had already a 4-year-old child with my husband. And husband working away up north. So I was like a single mom during the week, and then working full time and trying to keep everything working, and the house not keeping it out from burning. And I obviously was not taking good care of myself. I was taking a lot of myself or my family, to be honest. But I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know. Of course, that happens to all of us. And fear was one of the things that was stopping me. Fear of, oh my gosh, how can I break from this cycle of, feeling like in this hamster wheel that never stops, feeling like there's no way out from grabbing the frozen food, the frozen pizza, feeling like I needed and feeling like I deserved having a nightly glass of wine or sometimes two to kind of unwind and just survive and to keep going and rinse and repeat the next day, right? And so I there was a lot of fear in there. And I was having a lot of health issues, of course. And like Gina said, the same thing with my doctor, it's just, most women struggle with health, with gut issues. Most women have constipation. Most women have hormonal imbalances. Most women have, a lot of women struggle with adult acne. And I'm like, okay, I guess I just have to learn how to live with these things, right? And go on with my life. But I was not making the connections, of course, sleeping 5 hours a night and stress way up there. And, of course, eating was not great. So again, one of those moms, women, trying to survive and keep just the face out of the water and not really having any kind of support, because you look around and everybody's doing the same and you just feel like it's normal, right? And that is what I feel is my gift to give, is to tell women it is not normal and we do not have to settle, and we have all of what we need and all of the right, and we deserve to feel great, amazing, not just good, great, amazing, regardless of our age, our stage, whether we're moms, whether we work or we don't work, we work at home, whatever it is. And there are so many ways we can do this. I focus on nutrition, particularly on gut health, because that was the one thing that was the transformation, started the transformation for me, for everything. The one thing that really took me down and made me like connect the dots was the fear that came when I was told at 34 years old that I could not have a second child. I could not give my son a sibling. And being away from my home country, no close family, I wanted to really give my son that gift of having siblings, having someone to lean on and play with and all of the things. And just owning the, I guess, taking the responsibility of that's on me, that's not going to happen, that really broke me down. But that also started my healing and my transformation and the transformation of my family. So, so what do I do now with this is I'm here to tell women out there, again, we can create our environment. We are fighting with and against an environment that is pushing us towards all of the things that are breaking us down physically, mentally, emotionally, like everything, everywhere we go, and everything we see is telling us, oh, it's okay to make these choices. And those are the very choices that are making us sicker earlier in our lives. And I'm here to say, you can create your own environment that is supportive to you and that is gonna help you, and also show your kids, if you are a mom, show your family that they can actually own that too and learn to do things differently. So that's pretty much how I do this. Did I miss anything?
That
I thought it was amazing.
mhm. That's right. And then do you work, is it one-on-ones? Is it group? I know you've been doing some traveling. What is the format that you share, or maybe even have some visions of sharing for people?
Yeah, thank you for asking that, Lorna. So I was doing mainly one-on-ones, but then, and I was doing one-on-one, I travel a lot. So I was like, I can only take my business with me, do coaching when I'm home. But then this was the first year that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna launch this group program, and I'm gonna launch this group program while I'm traveling to Thailand. I was in Thailand, Cambodia, Singapore, and it was the most amazing thing I could have ever done. The women that joined, oh my gosh, I was like, it's been so great. My current dream is just to continuously grow this program, because it's like the community, the beauty of the community that has been going on in there is just heartwarming for me. And so I'm still offering the one-on-ones, but I'm really striving to grow this group program. Is going to be on a continuous basis. There's no, you have to start here and then there. Like it's going to be like an evergreen program that I want to run for the whole year, and anyone can join at any time and leave whenever they feel they can fly solo. So
Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much, Liz, for sharing that. And it's lovely to see your passion, your excitement show as you speak about that. So it's really, really beautiful. And then interesting, when you were talking about the traveling and doing those things, I wondered for Gina, Gina's kind of, exactly. That's right. Thank you so much. Adriana, if you would please go ahead and pick up a thread and then share. And then Michelle, when Adriana has finished, if you would please pick up a thread from her and then take us into our third part. Thank you.
Oh my God, I am so tickled. I'm so excited. It's like today I was like, woo, I took a lot of notes. I'm just saying, I took a lot of notes. Like there's so many gold nuggets. I'm like, woo, I'm on fire today. These ladies, I knew these ladies are like, ooh, on such on fire. Like I need to watch the replay because I still have the notes to take. It's been absolutely incredible. I like sometimes words cannot even describe how excited I am, and I will tell you why. Because my soul is so excited, and my humanness is so excited when I'm in a room with soul-driven leaders. When I see women stepping them in who they are and owning their voice, their stories, their soul, their mission, and with no problems, like, yeah, this is what I am, and this is how I struggle with all of this, and I'm not I'm not shame anymore. Shame is not is just there, leave it there. And I'm owning who I am. And I'm here to show the world why I'm here to do, because I'm not doing it just for me. And then being in a room with all of you and seeing this, it just makes my heart so excited. I wish you can feel what I feel. I'm so excited. So there's so many gold nuggets to take from here. It's like, I was looking like when Lorna mentioned, she said the gold in the shame. I'm like, boom, there you go. That is a huge thing. When Michelle was like, the people that trigger you, the people that can be even the closer to you, they are your biggest teachers. I was like, there is another one. When Gina mentioned exactly that, it resonated with Liz too. Fear is here to be overcome. I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. So I'm so excited to be in a room like this, because my why it comes exactly with all of you. At one point in my life, I grew up feeling that I was the only child because my parents didn't want other children, because I make like 10. So I was, I think, more than enough. Then I was I was wild, like Gina was said. I was asked a billion questions. I wasn't knowing. There's so many things that people didn't accept of who I was, because I had so much energy to give. But people said, no, you too much, Adriana. You too much. You give too much love. You too huggy. You too touchy. You spoke too much. You talk too much. You all these things. So I learned to dim it down to the point I didn't have a voice. Growing up in a culture in Romania where man was above woman, the patriarchal culture, I came in my blueprint of identity as a woman is that you get married, you make kids, you take care of your husband and your kids, and you keep your mouth shut. That is your mission purpose. And that's what I did, except the kids part. And then I start growing up, and then as I got into this life, and the life started lifing me with divorce, with a bunch of things, with health problems, with financially debt, and then everything started crumbling. And when you hit rock bottom, it's almost like a reinsurance that everything I lived in my childhood is right. I'm not good enough. That's why I hit rock bottom. But then what Lorna said, it was gold in there. I had to hit rock bottom, that I was in my knees, to realize that I am here for so much bigger than I'm even imagine. And I realized one day when I woke up in the morning, I looked in the mirror and I didn't know who is the person in the mirror. I know who she is because I never looked at her. I ignore her by focusing on everything else except her. But the moment when I start looking at her, that's when the gold. When I start looking at my traumas, that's where the gold was. That was my mission, is to be the voice for the voiceless, to be the visibility for the invisible, for my mom, for my grandma, and all the people in my life that never had the opportunity to wake up and speak because they didn't thought that their voice mattered. So this is my why, is to help and support women in general, but not just women, but there's my soft part, because that's what I was, to show them that they have a voice, that they have a story that matters, that the whole needs it, not just for them, but for all the generations behind them that didn't have the courage to speak out. And I help them through public speaking, communication, confidence, and all the things that requires for you to prepare yourself as a leader, as a soul-driven leader, to get out there and speak it and own who you are, own your story. Because if this seed was given to you, these traumas, which I call them trainings, they were your training to prepare you for who you are meant to become. So then you become a leader to lead the people behind you that never have the opportunity to lead themselves. Now, my mission is not just mine. It's all the people behind me. And also is to show and the leaders that are coming in front of us that they have support, they have the support they needed. And the way I do it is through keynote speeches, on stages, on workshops, my trainings, and on other platforms, one-on-ones, group calls, you name it. Whatever is necessary to bring this message and support as many women like each one of you here speaking up, owning your story and owning who you are, so then we can start leading this world. So then the children and the new generations that are coming, they start being raised with a different mindset, with a different soul leading purpose and journey, so they don't have to carry our trainings, our trainings and traumas anymore. It has to stop with us. Like I think Gina said, I am a chain breaker. Yes, we all are. That's why we're here. So it's time to break whatever was put into us and given to us and start looking at them. They are like our traumas, they are our trainings, and they are our gifts that we have the possibility to change the perspective of how we see them and deliver them as gifts, not as traumas anymore. And that's what I'm here to do. So that's it. Thank you. Pass it on to you, Lorna.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Adriana, for sharing that. Adriana, a question for you as well with that passion that you have. Sorry, didn't catch that. Do you work one-on-ones with group? I know that you do a lot of speaking. How do you share your work and these transformative experiences for people?
Yes, definitely. I'm actually about soon to I'm working on creating I'm creating a 3 months and a 6 months program to launch it for groups, because it's time to get into help in the community. Like I think Liz was mentioning about the community power. It's about that. I worked until now a lot in one-on-ones, but it's time to bring the community, because the power of community is so much stronger than just one-on-one. And that's why I'm planning to work on a community as well. And also it's my favorite thing is being on the stage and create experiences based trainings and workshops with the people that I'm here to serve.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, Michelle, if you'd please pick up a thread to weave our connection circle in today and then share into the third, please.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, what Adriana left off with our traumas, our trainings, you know, I mean, all of the pieces that she picked out from all of you were all the same for me. And Liz, when you were talking about, you know, my lived experience of having crisis burnout, but then coming to the place where I deserve to feel great has been a real journey. And as moms, but especially as moms of disabled kids, a lot of the times there's a lot of stigma around, okay, disabled kid, I'm gonna, you know, abandon you or ignore you for my own self, is just like, right? So that piece really spoke to me, and having the courage to recognize that it's not that you don't love them, it's just that you need to love yourself also. And so that, you know, that leadership by example that all of you have set in stepping into, that has really resonated with me today. So yeah, I think I'm going to lead off our third round, which is by each of us thinking of a word that described the session today. And for me, it's leadership in this circle, because Gina, you have led by example and by experience and come through that, and that's an incredible triumph, as have you, Liz and Lorna and Adriana. So I just feel like that's a good word. So I'm going to go around, and then after that we'll tell you about a couple of things that we've got going here in Body, Mind, and Soul. But let's start. I'm feeling to start with Lorna. What was your word for today?
It's 2 words actually: joy and whole.
Okay, joy and whole. That's awesome. I'm actually gonna go to Gina. Gina, what was your word for today?
Yeah, that's kind of funny that you asked that, because there is a word for today that I was already having, and that's grit. And this is what it feels like for me as well. So thank you.
Ooh, I got goosebumps on that one. Thank you. It is, right? Liz, how about you?
For me, it's the oneness. I loved how Lorna put that oneness, I mean, actually connected with what you said, Michelle, about how everything, we can learn so much from nature, and how and it's because we're part of it, right? So it's like this oneness of everything.
Awesome. And I think last would be Adriana. What's your word for today?
So the first word that came in my mind was leaders, but you already said it. So I'm gonna be a wild child, and I'm gonna have 3 words today. I'm gonna be which soul-driven creators.
Soul-driven creators.
That's why each one of us, I felt like we are here. We came with soul-driven creators. We're here to create and co-create with everybody else.
Heck yeah. I love that. And I love that each of our souls has arrived here on Earth School to learn the things that we've learned and to create the things that we're creating. So thank you each for being in the community. When Adriana and Lorna and I created the space, we developed this, and Connection Circle in particular, to be able to feature people for this purpose, not only to connect each other and to connect our own selves and body, mind, and soul's purposes, but to connect the people who show up with their soul's purpose with the people who need them. So towards that. And when we finish Connection Circle, we always offer a one-to-one interview so that people can do another deeper dive individually with you. So Gina and Liz would love to have you on as a one-to-one to feature you as a client, to dive deeper into your story and the services that you offer, so that people can get to know, like, and trust you and see you in the group as we build the connections across wellness providers, but then also the people who are looking for the wellness providers, so that you can be featured. So love to have you there. Looking your email for that. You can book a time. And then obviously we'd love to have you back, as things evolve, as I said at the beginning, as things evolve, we'd have you back again for sure. The other piece that we've been working very hard on in the last little while, and we're so excited about, is that this micro summit, Burnout micro summit, that's coming up on July 20th. And this micro summit, we've done a couple of individual micro summits. Yeah, I think Adriana mentioned the grief and the sleep. This one's on burnout. And this time we're adding a VIP component. I think Lorna may have mentioned before we were on. We're super excited about this because this is going to really add a lot of value to the micro summits. We're still doing the 2 hours public live stream with the 5 panelists. Burnout is such a complex topic and has so many facets. Every topic that we take on, it has so many facets. So we have these panelists so they can come from their different, areas of expertise. So we'll still have the 2 hour portion live cast free into the body, mind, and soul community, and you'll be able to hear these amazing speakers. We're going to be dropping the link today on how to register for that for July 20th. So lots of time, but also get your seat, because it's going to be good. We're adding on this VIP component where you actually going to have a deep dive with Q&A. So if you really resonate with the burnout issue, for example, you can come listen, get all the expertise, be live in the session with the speakers and able to interact and connect with other people in the live chat, ask your questions there. But then when we go to the private VIP session after, there's going to be 2 components. One is like a hot seat Q&A, where there's sort of a deeper dive with, you can bring up your case specific, examples of, how do I deal with this? And in relation to that, and, ask the speakers who have provided you with a bunch of, juicy questions and, inspiration about how to deal with things. It brings up things often that we can work out there. So there's that high value section, and your question will often help others. So we have that high value section where we can have some questions answered. And then we get to do a breakout set. We're doing breakout rooms with each speaker, so that each speaker, you can come join and then hear all the good stuff, hear the case specific questions, and then you get to join with your specific speaker that you think resonates with you best and your question best, and have an interactive session with them, hear about their work, what they do, and how it can help you with your problem, as well as answer any more detailed questions. So we really feel like that, plus the recordings of the whole thing, Plus, oh my gosh, the speakers have all agreed that each of them are going to come with a gift, and this time we do mean a goodie gift, a lead, you know, we call them lead magnets in the business, but like a freebie gift that they can offer that gives you even more value. And so the VIP comes with all the private sessions, all the recordings, and not only the VIP gifts from this session though, all of the stuff from the past and all of them in the future. So when you buy one VIP ticket for 30, I think we're charging $37, you get everything plus all of the goodies from all of the speakers into the future. So we feel like that's a huge amount of value, and it's going to be really great. We're really looking forward to trying it out and hearing how you guys think. This is going to be the first one. So looking forward to hearing, offering that on July 20th. And then, yeah, continuing on with Connection Circle, one-to-one, and what else? I feel like there's something that I'm forgetting. Have I forgotten anything, Adriana? No.
You mentioned everything. I want to say is like plus all the goodies that everybody gets on top of that, and then the support. And what I love about this is that you have the opportunity to match yourself with the person that you feel connected, because when you start working on your own stuff, as you have your own issues or things that you want to work on, it's very hard sometimes to bring it up into like a bigger room. But if you have the opportunity to connect with a person, it's like I really connect with, say I have got problems, and it's like, Liz, I saw her talking for 2 hours, then I saw her talking on questioning and answering a lot of questions. Now I know that this is the person I want to work with, especially when you have intimate problems that maybe you don't feel comfortable, you know, that shame again that comes up. You have the opportunity to connect with a person that it suits you. And that's why we're doing all these topics, because sooner or later you will find a person. That's why the connection circle and the body, mind, and soul, it's about is bringing providers that you start knowing them a little bit more than just like Googling someone and not knowing who you are and spending thousands of dollars on people and keep trying and trying and trying until you find your person.
And growing the audience, you know, we're doing a significant amount of marketing. We're using the digital marketing tools that we have developed to support connecting the audience. So we're going out and marketing the summit, bringing them into the group so that the wellness providers, you know, you guys that have joined us here in the community, you know, the connection circle, you know, as we go through, you know, we're going to have Microsoft puts on menopause and cancer and all the things. And so that those people who are seeking those wellness providers and those answers for their issues are drawn into the group to be there, so that the Facebook group becomes a great place to connect with people who have the heart's driven purpose to serve. And yeah, love to support it. That was the other thing I didn't mention was love to support our wellness providers too, with our provider circle, supporting their business and marketing stuff. We can drop links about that, so we also have that going too. So that, I think I blabbed too much. We're over. We gotta go, but it's been so fun, you guys.
That was so great.
Connection circle. Thank you so much.
So and I want to say also, in terms of dropping links, first of all, Gina and Liz, thank you again so much for being here, for sharing your wisdom and your experience. I've just been moved so deeply, and getting to know each of you even more, in addition to Adriana and Michelle. So Gina and Liz, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your experience. Just truly an honor to have you here, and to here in our connection circle, as Michelle said, it's not only just about connecting those who are here and those who are watching live or by replay, but this opportunity to continue to support you in getting that visibility. So please do go into the comments below our live stream here in the Facebook and drop your link so that people have a way to connect with you. Your Facebook groups, your offerings, whatever you have, any way, please do that. And also, in addition to the one-on-one interview that we would love to feature you in, is we do have our weekly, there's a place that anybody in the group can post your things, any offerings you've got, any celebrations. So please use the space we've created here to let people know about you, and give us that. We are privileged to be able to support people in connecting to you in the radiant beings that you are and the work that you're doing. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Gina. Thank you, my beautiful co-hosts, Michelle and Lorna. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Again, if you watched this, I saw Dennis. I saw a bunch of people. Say hello. Let us know where you're tuning from. Connect with these beautiful ladies. If you're here to need your support or help, I'm sure they're here to support you and help in any way, shape they can. And also, we'll see you next time. Until then, take care of you. Enjoy life. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.